It is September 4th, 2014, a little bit after 6 o'clock in the morning, like 6:07, and this is the air today. Very quiet. There are a few birds around, but I don't hear anything coming from this tree. Over there. But it seems unusually quiet. Anyway, I have Ezekiel here. Ezekiel is really great. Messages of doom. And the great thing about this is when it says you may live among scorpions, because sometimes that's what happens. We end up living among scorpions and really difficult things. Anyway, I want to read this to you. But first, I just put that there. See, there's the time. 6:08, Thursday, September 4th. Okay, pull up a chair. Here we are. The sunrise is happening. The oppressive air is over here. Visibility low. Birds few. Okay. Now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Sept, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. Isn't that fantastic? The heavens were opened, and he saw visions of God. In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest. That's great. A priest. The son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chebat, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. That is so fantastic. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. A great, this is really exciting. A whirlwind came out of the north. So he's looking up into heaven. Oh, the reason I wanted to read Ezekiel is because he talks a lot about clouds, and I've been looking at clouds. So it came out of the cloud. A whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire unfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. I don't know what the sole of a calf's foot looks like. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And they had the hands of a man under their wings, on their four sides. And they four had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man, and the face of a lion, and the right side, on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward, whither the Spirit was to go. And they went, and they turned not. And when the burning, and when they went, forward, whither the Spirit was to go, they went, and when they went. Okay. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. Okay, I can really picture this, because we're seeing some fantastic things in the clouds now, these days, around the world. And the living creatures, ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. That's a stone. And they 4 had one likeness. Wheel. Wait a minute. Likeness. And their appearance and their work was, as it were, a wheel in the middle of a wheel. That's exciting. A wheel in a wheel. When they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful. Rings, and their rings were full of eyes, round about them 4. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not in a comfortable position, but I want to continue. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures, so they were all one, because they were together, their wings were connected, was as the color of the terrible crystal, stretched forth over their heads above and under the firmament, that's the sky, were their wings straight, the one toward the other. Every one had two, which covered on this side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side. Their bodies. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings. Wouldn't that be fantastic to hear the sound, the noise of their wings? Like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads. And when they stood and had let down their wings, and above the firmament, that's above the sky, that was over their heads, was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. Well, that would be bright. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of the fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins, even upward, and from the appearance of his loins, even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, as the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. Glory of the Lord, glory. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. So this is Ezekiel 1, describing Ezekiel's vision of God in the sky, and God is above the firmament. So the next chapter is chapter 2, and I think I'll do that next time because I want to think about chapter 1. Look, amber, gold, fire. Above the firmament. Don't you think it's funny how people say, oh, the imaginary man in the sky? Oh, but someone created this place. human beings are not doing a good job being stewards of this place. But human beings are being directed by the prince of the power of the air. And the Luciferian wannabe God wannabes that don't honor God. But one of these days, like Ezekiel, people, I have a feeling, are going to fall on their faces before the living God. Anyway, thank you for listening to a bit of an awkward reading of Ezekiel 1. Have a beautiful day, everyone. God bless, and bye for now.